this video, Noah is going to be showing you how to manage your time being a student athlete and also what it's like competing at the highest level in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Make sure to stay tuned at the end as there will be a bonus tip for you all to enjoy. Further ado, enjoy the podcast.
Oh, no, I need you like Jiu-Jitsu.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to another Youth of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu podcast, a community of young people, Jiu-Jitsu practitioners, awesome creators, having some fun and sharing our stories. And today I'm so excited for our next guest, all the way from Singapore. He's won the SEA Games, he's won Pan Pac, he's won the Abu Dhabi World Pro Championships. I want to introduce you all to Noah Lim. How's it going, Noah?
Hey guys, I'm going good. I'll be 18 this year. I've been training for I want to say 5 years, almost 5 years. Yeah, but before Jiu-Jitsu, I was actually a competitive swimmer for my school. But I didn't really like swimming at all. Yeah, but so I've just been training since once I discovered Jiu-Jitsu, I've been training. I loved it ever since. Yeah.
Share with the audience about your story, how you started training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Right. Actually, my older brother, he started training before me. And then he used to practice techniques on me before I started Jiu-Jitsu. So I was a swimmer, but then he practiced techniques on me, and I was like, oh, it's so awesome. It's because there's so many details, there's so many small things, and then I always love to fight. I have 5 siblings at home, and we used to fight each other all the time, play for something, and so it was I thought it was awesome, and then I always wanted to try it, and so eventually one day I just tried it, and then I loved it ever since.
Just wanted to dive into, I know that you are a student athlete and that background that you have there. So just wanted to ask you about, first of all, what course are you studying at school?
I'm doing the IB course. IB?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm studying chemistry, math, and economics this year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's sort of like junior college kind of thing. Yeah, before university. Yeah.
Time management, that's a very important tool. So can you share some of your tips on managing your time?
I'd say one of the important things is to make a to-do list, because when you make a to-do list, you set the tone of the day. You have a direction and purpose to the rest of your day. So I like to do it first thing in the morning. I know some people who do it the night before, but making a to-do list, you know what to do. Whenever you wonder what to do, you don't waste time because you have a list of things to do. And I'll say it's also, there's this thing called the Parkinson's law, which is it says work expense to fill the task, the time allocated to it, something like that. So basically, if you give yourself a lot of time to do work, right? I think for me personally, right, I'll end up procrastinating. If I have a task to do and then I give myself 5 hours, I just procrastinate and stuff, right? So that I like to fill my time, which is why training Jiu-Jitsu really helps, because it gives me less time to study. But then when I do study, I'm a lot more productive, I feel. Because when you allocate less time to it, you feel pressured to do it, then you don't procrastinate. That's how I try to stay productive. I try to add little things into my day such that I have to study and be productive when I do study. Yeah.
Mentioning procrastination. So I know that's a big thing, right? For us students, studying. So how have you kept motivated for studying and training Jiu-Jitsu at the same time?
Okay, so to be honest, I've never been a very motivated person, since a kid but I think right now I'm pretty motivated because I think once you set a long-term goal, what I want to do in the future, in terms of for Jiu-Jitsu, for example, I have goals I want to do in the future, and this, so it's in a long-term kind of thing, and it gives me a purpose, a purpose of why I'm training, why I'm doing things. I think motivation, there's 2 different kinds of motivation. There's push motivation and pull motivation. So push is very external, where it's for example, you're doing something because you feel pressured by other people to do it. For example, when I was a swimmer, I honestly didn't really like swimming, but my mom would force me to train, and she would pressure me to train and stuff like that. So that was push motivation, and honestly I didn't really like it. Whereas for me personally, Jiu-Jitsu is a pull motivation, where it's an intrinsic desire to go to train, right? It's very fun, it's awesome, it's the most fun thing for me. It's playing a video game. When people play video games, it doesn't take much motivation to do it, right? But they just do it because it's fun in and of itself. So you need to find things that you're very passionate about, things that you're intrinsically and from your inside, the things you like to do. So if you're not motivated, it just shows that what you're doing right now is probably something that you're not very passionate in. It's so you probably should try to find and try to go for things that you're passionate about, because then it makes motivation very easy, because it's not like hard work for me to train, you know, it's like it's fun. I'm going there.
So how do you prioritize your time?
For me, like, so like before like the lockdown and before like COVID-19 and everything, I'll try to train like 6 times a week. So like training, I'll train every single day, and I'll like all the rest of my time I'll just be studying basically. So I just like train and study, because for me I prioritize, because like this year we have a very major exam like at the end of the year, and this exam will decide like what universities you can get into. So for me personally, like this year I'm prioritizing like studies and training. So like I know like I always put these things first. Yeah.
Studying with school and just having to balance it. Have you had some support with your friends and teachers with pursuing your jiu-jitsu career?
Yeah, so in school I have like a group of friends that all like they all do different kind of sports, like they're swimmers, they're squash players. So I think having like like-minded people around you, like they all understand what you're going through, like we're all training and trying to balance things well, like it really helps a lot. It's like I think you're like the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time around, right? And so just spending time with my friends that all have the same like goals, same ambitions to succeed in sports and in studies, that helps me a lot.
Besides training jiu-jitsu and studying, what do you do in your downtime?
To read a lot of books. Like I try to read, and also like I play games with my friends, like phone games. Yeah.
Last year, you competed at the SEA Games. The process of training prior to the SEA Games.
So training, I was still doing like 6 times a week, but we actually had a training camp in US, and I got to train with Isaac. You know Isaac Duladine?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so good, and he destroyed me like so much. But I learned so much. Like he taught me like many follow-up details and stuff. And I also trained with Gabriel Ajas, Homino Bahar, Edwin Ashmi, like a lot of good guys, and we learned a lot of details. Like Gabriel Ajas taught us his knee bar and stuff. It was awesome. So I felt pretty prepared for SEA Games. Yeah.
High prestigious tournament, and representing Team Singapore. How have you managed the stress and the expectation when competing at that highest level?
To be honest, I didn't really have much expectations. Like, I mean, I didn't really know, but as in, like, I heard rumors about like, oh, the Philippines guy is very good, or the Malaysian guy is very good, and actually, like, the Malaysian guy actually beat my older brother before, so I knew he was good. So like, I actually felt quite anxious, and like, I don't know. To be honest, I was pretty anxious because actually during the training camp, I actually popped my ankle. Like, some guy just went ankle lock and went belly down and cranked it, and then it just popped. And this, like, for SEA Games, the rules are, black belt rules, right? Toe holds, everything's out. Toe holds, knee bars, everything's out. So I was quite scared that my ankle's injured, and yeah. So I'll even have like dreams like in the middle of the night that I'll lose SEA Games and like this kind of stuff. But how I deal with it is, I just told myself like I don't have any expectation for this. I'm going to go out there, and no matter what happens, I'll love myself regardless. If I won or lost, like, so as long as I go out there and do what I love, and try to show the world my jiu-jitsu, I'll be happy. And yeah, so I just try to do my best.
Can you talk us through about the kind of environment? So Southeast Asian Championships. That's the.
There's a lot of people, and like I hear when I was fighting the Philippines guy, like the whole Philippines crowd was like cheering against me. It was like it's some yeah. But my family came all the way from Singapore to support, so it was quite nice. I could hear my mom screaming from the crowd. So it was really great. Yeah.
Having that feeling of winning the championships, how does it feel?
I mean, like, for sure, it's a huge honor, but I think the most meaningful part is like overcoming this like self-doubt and this being anxious and having the struggles and like having an injured ankle, because like I didn't tell anyone because I didn't want like my opponents to know. So I just pretended like my ankle's okay. I didn't take out anything, I just like went out there pretending it's okay, and like people didn't attack it at all. So like luckily, like I was blessed that no one attacked it. Yeah, but for sure it's like overcoming like self-doubt, because everyone's gonna have doubt, especially like before a very important competition or before anything important. We're going to have like fears and self-doubt and insecurities. But like being able to overcome that and do my best and manage to win the competition, it felt pretty good. Yeah.
Who has been major, influential, impactful figures?
Oh, for sure. One of them is Levi, Levi Jones. I love his style, and like because he does rambles and he's very good at all this stuff, 50-50. I'll say the Mendes brothers as well. Mendes brothers, I've been watching them before I even started jiu-jitsu. Like before I even like stepped on the mats, I was already watching them because my older brother introduced them. Yeah, and Keenan as well. Keenan. I think my parents are very, very supportive of me, and I'm very grateful for that. Like having the opportunity to train and to like compete overseas and stuff. And having my brother helps a lot because it's like I feel like going to train alone sometimes is quite lonely, you know. But having him, so we're together and we train together and we can explore ideas together and drill together and stuff. This is very helpful.
At the SEA Games and the other international tournaments, how have you had to balance your studies while getting prepared for the competition?
It's for sure difficult, especially like when I know I'm going to fly off, because I know it's going to be very hard to study overseas because like especially with the national team, like we always like go to someone's hotel room and we play games, and it's very hard to like avoid that peer pressure of like the peer pressure of like going there not play games, to like stay in your hotel room and study. And so like I just try my best to like do as much work as I can, which is why like when I have time I'll just study, because I know like I'm going to have less time in the future, so I have to like prepare for it in advance. So I'll study as much as I can beforehand. Yeah.
Help us out and teach us how to handstand.
Yeah. I'll try my best. I'll try. You put hands here and just try to kick up. I think a lot of people have the fear of like, I guess. There's a fear of kicking up. That's the hardest part. Yeah. You have to.
How do you stay up?
Like, see, if you're falling, right? Like you just put your legs against the wall. Like so I can balance. So like if I'm falling forward, I'll push my fingers into the ground. Let's say I'm falling forward, I'll push it here to pull myself back. Or if I'm going back, I'll push from the back. I don't know. So use your fingers to try to balance it off.
Well, thank you so much for that bonus skill, guys. Taught by Noah himself. Make sure that you follow him on all of his social media platforms. I'll be leaving that down below. Leave the audience. Is there any you want to share with all those people out there regards to being a student athlete?
Right, for sure. You need to be very good at prioritizing your time. You need to know like what's important to you. And I think it's very easy to fall into like peer pressure, like people like trying to follow what everyone else is doing, like going with the flow and like trying to be cool and hanging out with your friends. But if you know what's important to you, like in, for example, 10 years down the road, I know like this is what I want 10 years down the road. And when you prioritize and manage your time well, and chase your dreams. So I say for sure, like chase your passions and like don't worry about going with the flow. Like you have to like be courageous and go against the grain once in a while to chase your dreams.
Thank you so much for your time today, Noah. Guys, hearing it from the best in the world. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of the Youth of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu podcast. Make sure to join the community of young people training Jiu-Jitsu, sharing what we love, having some fun, and sharing our stories. So subscribe, like this video as well. Check out Noah's channel, YouTube channel. I'll be leaving that links down below. And guys, keep smiling, keep grinding. Sorrio, treina duro. Peace.